As Yugioh evolves, so must I. And as time goes on, you start realizing to yourself, I need a stronger deck. So what better stronger deck than to choose a top deck that's likely going to get banned completely and utterly in July. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm NateStoleYourWaifu, and this is my take on Dragon Link. As of March 2021.
Into the fires from hell, they are not hero to be. After the wall from over the sea, to lead 1918, all the way from Tennessee into 123.
I feel it's kind of fitting to have the most badass of dragons here as my playmat. Even though I would really love to have the Utopia Ray V playmat from the starter deck all those years ago, but that's going to be pretty hard to find. Anyways, let's get on to the deck profile. Alright, starting off I have 3 lovely Rocket Tracers. Rocket Tracer is pretty good because, well, he's your best summon off a quick launch. He can tag himself out or another card on your field to summon another rocket from your deck, and if you use it with quick launch, you get out 2 rockets instead of 1, which is pretty awesome. Just remember, you're locked to darks from the extra deck when you use his effects, so yeah. And he's a hard once per turn, so yeah. I don't think anyone would want that to be non-hard once per turn. I have 1 Recharger and 2 Synchrons after that. I found Synchron's a little bit better at 2 than Recharger because, well, you have so many other level 4s in this deck. You can still use them with Tracer, so that's good. And I found Synchron's a little better considering the fact what we're playing on our extra deck. It's going to be a little easier to go into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss off of it, so yeah. And Recharger, though you're usually summoning him and using him as material, if you have him in hand and one of your guys on field dies, if they're dark or someone from the extra deck, you can discard him and then target one of those destroyed monsters and then summon a dark monster in your graveyard with a different name than the monster you targeted. So say, for example, if, like, say, a Boral Sword died and you had maybe your Chaos Dragon Legionnaire who was summoned properly, or maybe your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, you can bring him back with Recharger. So that's pretty good. And now we're going to the other more chaos part of the deck. 1 White Dragon Wyvern Burster, 1 Black Dragon Collapse Zipper. These 2 synergize with each other, search, and are easy to summon, so they're your baby Chaos Dragons. I'm only playing 2 Star Liege. I find 3, personally, is a bit of a brick. I know what it does, it's just you don't typically want to draw multiples of these, and they're really best suited in the graveyard. You can also pitch other dragons and themselves to get into these guys a little easier. I just found like this setups a bit better. Next up you have your 3 Noct Division Dragons. This is one of the best cards in the deck. You can summon him off when you summon another Dark Dragon from anywhere, honestly. And when you use him as link material, you get to draw free cards. So free advantage, easier access to hand traps, all that. So he's very good. You definitely want to main him at 3. 1 Absterrator Dragon. He's been cut down over the time because, well, Noct Division's, well, better. An Absterrator Dragon's effect allows you to summon him if you control another rocket, and if he hits the graveyard, by any means, you can add any rocket from your deck to your hand, so it's easier access to Synchron and Tracer. Then we have Omni Dragon Brotar. This is going to be your main guy you summon off of Guard Dragon LP. You discard to target itself, and then search from your deck for one of your many different dragons. You're typically trying to search Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, two of which we only play 1 copy of in the deck. Yes, beautiful alternate art that we got in Duel Overload, yes. Beautiful alternate art there. Next up we have the Red Eyes, small little Red Eyes package, two black Metal Dragons, and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Yeah, I really wish we had Dragoon on us, or Verte, so we could, like... I wish I at least had Verte, so then I could go into Meteor Black Dragon, so he'd at least be like a level 8 material I could have on field, who's also a pretty big beat stick regardless. And again, he's your main guy, you use him to search him. But yeah, if you had more Red Eye stuff, this is mainly just for consistency right now, so that's what I'm playing. Darkness Metal explains himself, he summons any dragon from deck, just remember it's a hard once per turn now because of the errata. Now for hand traps, we have 3 Artifact Lancia because Invoked, Dinos, and whatever decks banish this format. Pretty much every deck. This deck does a lot of banishing too, so this is a very good hard counter to the format. I definitely want to play this. 3 Gamma and the Driver, yeah, it's a lot better when you have like more chaos spaces and more, well, you always main 3 quick launch anyways, so that's that. But regardless of that, that's really good. You can tag him and go into your level 8 synchros a lot easier if you do them on your turn, and it helps you interrupt your opponent's plays and monster effects. This is The game's been very monster-dependent heavy for a while now, so it's very good to play that. And of course, since I only have the 2 Nibiru, we'll play the 2 Nibiru. And of course, we know what Nibiru is for. It is for smacking bad combo negation making decks like this. Also works really good against decks like Tri-Brigade as well, who don't really have a hard negate that they summon really easily outside of the Mist Valley stuff. Now into the spells, we got our 1 Ravine, discard stuff to send dragons from deck, 1 Boot Sector Launch, of course, you know, you source this off a Striker Dragon, Call by the Grave, self-explanatory, Monster Reborn, help get stuff back from the grave a little easier when you can't get it back as easily, 1 for 1 because it helps you get into your Black Metal Dragon, and in some scenarios you might also use it for Omni Dragon Botar if you end up hard drawing both your Black Metal Dragons, which would suck. But yeah, you can also get into Tracer off this, so it's also really good. And the part this everyone's going to shoot me for, 1 Chaos Space. I only have 1 Chaos Space. I've tried my hardest to find them among the 2 locals I have in Ottawa that actually sell singles, and I've had no luck so far. I'm going to try and get in contact with my peeps. We'll see if I can find more of them, but just for now, 1 Chaos Space. This card is fucking brilliant. You can send one of your lighter darks from your hand to the graveyard, a lot of which synergize in the graveyard, to search one of your baby Chaos Dragons or Legionnaire. Or in some scenarios, you might even be searching the Envoys, which is very unlikely, because unless you're playing like the big level 8 dude Pendulum, I don't think you're going to be doing that, but it's definitely good. I would recommend you play it at 3, but since I only have 1, I'm only playing the 1. 3 Quick Launches, pretty self-explanatory, gets out your rocks from deck, and then 3 Super Shiny or Legacy Guard Dragons. Pretty useful card, gets back your dragons and helps you move them, so in the scenario that you're not able to get another dragon, but you're able to go into LP and have another Link 2, you can move your LP, and then now, since they're both pointing to the same zone, you can summon something out from deck with LP, which is really good. And now, move on to the extra deck. So, we have Triple Striker Dragon, pretty mandatory this format. 2 super shiny ones, 1 regular shiny one. Very good card. You're usually just typically, he's mainly your main, he's basically what Salmon Grade Phalanx is. He searches Boot Sector Launch, but unlike Phalanx, he doesn't protect your dragons by banishing himself. He in fact can kill himself and then get one of your rockets back from your graveyard, which is pretty good. Next up we have Pisty and LP. They're pretty self-explanatory. Get stuff from deck, get stuff from graveyard. Who doesn't want that? I only have 1 Heretic Spheres. I've never really had a second one come up, or had a reason to have another one come up, so I only really play the 1. Cause like I found having 2 is a bit kind of, well, unnecessary. So that's why we have other Link 2s and other monsters to play with that. So that's why we just do that instead of that. 1 Romulus to search your Ravine, and I just realized to myself I didn't add Phalanx and Divine Lance as my extra stuff, but yeah, typically you can either search that or Divine Lance, or mainly you're searching Ravine. The card I thought I was never going to get, because I hate you with a burning passion. Crystron Helgi Fibrax, pretty good combo card, very easy to go into, gets out your tuners from deck and helps you go into bigger combos a lot easier. If you have a Legacy Guard Dragon in hand and you summoned out one of your Dragon tuners, you send that away, go into LP, activate Guard Dragon, get that back, get that monster back, or if you activate it first to get the monster back, then go into that off of that, you can move the LP and then summon it under him, so he's pretty good. Why won't you get banned already? Anyways, next we're going on to a not my waifu, Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. Pretty self-explanatory. I used to hate this card with a burning passion as well. She basically needs 2 monsters with different names except tokens, sadly. And you can negate multiple monster effects, not in the same chain, but basically by reducing its attack by 800. So the more monsters used for her summon, up to 4, she gains 800 attacks. You're typically only getting 2 or 3 materials off this, so that's around 2 to 3 negations, which is amazing. You definitely want that. Saruja, pretty good. I really love using him because depending on what your hand is, he's your best play to go off of after you've gone to Hulk or Romulus, because you can then summon your other dragons from your hand and stuff to get more stuff on the board. And if you had Pisty on board, he's pointing to the Pisty, and your Pisty is pointing to something else, it's a lot easier to do stuff with that. And of course, Borosword Dragon, because Borosword Dragon is awesome and OTKs are awesome. And last up we have the Synchros and the 1xyz. Savage Dragon, took me a while to find this. If I didn't have Savage, it'd be the Berserker of the Tenyi, but Savage is too amazing to pass up. Chaos Dragon Ruler, I adore the design of this card, and it's a lot of fun to play around with. It's basically painful choice painful choice for Light Sworns. It's basically mill the top 5 cards of your deck, and then add 1 Excavated Layer Dark from among them to your hand, and the rest go to the graveyard, so that would trigger Wolf in this sense. And it can bring itself back by banishing a light and dark from your hand or graveyard. Oh, it can do hand as well. Okay, I never knew that. That's actually amazing. I know that. And of course, we have Hot Rod Dragon Archery Abyss. This used to be a big dude back in the day when Agripane was legal. I miss those days. Well, kind of. I don't. we all want LP in the gang band now, so that's another thing. And then, of course, we have Sanapod the Sky Prison. I was debating number 38 as well. But if you're locked yourself into darks with a Tracer, you typically want to go into him. Plus, he locks everyone out of summoning from the graveyard as well, and protects himself from being destroyed by card effects. So he's not as easy to out. And he's a pretty beefy dude in defense mode. And he gains 100 attack and defense for each monster banning. Each monster in the graveyard, so he's even beefier. Now, lastly, we're on to the side deck. Now, this is a bit of a silly one. So I have 1 Dynarest Prank Drops, mainly for going second stuff. You want to deal with that. And of course, all the other going second stuff. We have our Red Reboots and our Harpy's Feather Duster. Love the gold printing. This is so beautiful. I love this. Love this so much. Oh yeah. Summon itself to pop and bait out negates. It's the Eldlich Hate, and Mystic Mind too. Drill's pretty good this format. Want to definitely run that. Ash Blossom when I'm not fighting a mainly banish heavy deck, which is a lot of this format, so you want to have that over Lancia sometimes. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Well, again, Eldlich matchup because Eldlich wants their stuff in the graveyard, so you typically don't want to Twin Twister them unless you've top decked Harpies and you can go straight for game there. And 3 Dark Ruin or more to deal with the oppressive boards that aren't my own. So anyways, guys, that was my Dragon Link deck profile. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed that. Leave any tips in the comments below. I would definitely appreciate them because I am a bonehead and I do appreciate any advice you guys can give. Anyways, talk to you later. Unless I stole your waifu, in which case you're probably coming after me because I stole your waifu. Anyways, have a good day, everyone, and I'll see you next time.